Tonight we bring you an MTN special feature.
Brandon Sullivan tonight unveils the unique bond shared by a father and daughter and their love of speed.
It's like fate. It really is. I can't imagine what else, like in this chunk of time that we've been drag racing, what else would have filled that time if we didn't have that. The most important people in my whole circle, the people I love the most, I met out there. Everything under the sun has happened to me. Every important thing, for the most part, has happened to me out there. What would this life have been like without it? It's unimaginable.
It's a 243-inch Don Davis dragster that goes by the name Crusher. It has a 570 cubic inch pro-charged motor with 2,500 horsepower. And like its owners, it wants to go fast. Real fast. The home track is here, Acton, Montana, a quarter-mile drag strip located just outside of Billings. Owner Robert Thiele has been racing out here since the track opened in 2003. His daughter Casey since 2005. Both had goals coming into the 2018 racing season. For 23-year-old Casey, it was about two things: being the #1 qualifier in the Quick 8 class as the fastest car every single weekend, and to win the overall Quick 8 Points Championship, a feat no other Montana woman has accomplished. For Dad Robert, setting the track record at the 8th Mile Highline drag strip in Malta with a time of under 4 seconds was pretty high priority. But even bigger than that was making sure the car that his daughter got in and out of every weekend was in tip-top shape.
I go over that car with a fine-tooth comb after every race to verify and see that everything mechanically is there.
Good dialing.
Yeah.
That worked.
Yeah, so you said 632 with the 9. There's a lot of moving parts. It doesn't prevent breakage or an accident, but it's just the peace of mind I need to do it.
When your daughter is traveling down the track at speeds of more than 200 miles per hour, peace can sometimes be hard to find. But when there's a bond that's been formed over the years through love, trust, and time spent together, peace comes just a little easier for this father of one. From the moment Casey Thiele came into this world, the consistency in her life has always been her dad and racing. From her souped-up Barbie car to riding shotgun with Dad on the snowmobile, Casey's need for speed landed her in her first junior dragster at age 9. Dad Robert, racer, fixer, and maintainer of each and every car he and his daughter ripped down the track, has been kicking tires and lighting fires since high school. The two are inseparable.
This was just a couple years ago, actually, us trying to figure out what we're gonna dial or something like that, what we're gonna do. We're too much alike to a fault sometimes, but it's always nice to have someone who, for the most part, understands why you are the way you are.
There's a reason we only had one kid. She is a lot of work. She goes constantly.
Now I can't talk to you at all. I'm just kidding.
From the minute she wakes up to the minute she goes to bed, it's 100 miles an hour.
It worked, huh?
Yeah, it did.
It worked.
And that pretty much wraps up Casey.
Her 100-mile-an-hour character was the perfect fit for the sport her dad loved. Or at least that's what he thought, when he first tried to get her into what they called the little fancy lawnmower that also had a sticky clutch. Casey didn't want any part of it.
I started crying and I was like, you gotta tell Dad to take it back. I really appreciate it, but you gotta tell him to take it back. I'm too scared. As
a dad doing this, I wanted my kid in that car. I wanted her to do this and enjoy it, and my heart's just being broken that she doesn't want to be in it. It was my fault because the car wasn't right. and so we got that taken care of. She had her first race. I believe she won her second or third race out, and after that she was hooked.
Within months of first getting in the car, this fiery little red-headed 9-year-old had won her first national race, and with it, her first Wally, the National Hot Rod Association's most coveted trophy, named after founder Wally Parks. She now has 4. Dad is still looking for his first. The two spend countless hours together. Many of those hours are spent in the RV, traveling to tracks around the country. During the racing season, this is home, and they love every minute of it.
Something special that I get to go places with my dad, and that's like our father-daughter time before we jump into this huge race or this huge track or wherever we're going.
We're trapped in here. There's no one else. Yeah, it's a good thing.
I mean, I was the only girl hanging out in the group of guys when I was in juniors, and it made me better because of that.
You can tell with some racers, they race her different because she's a girl.
It was hard to earn the respect from other drivers when I first stepped into Super Pro.
She's always going to have to work harder than the men she competes against to get that respect or to even get in that position.
I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it's not easy.
It's probably never going to change for as long as I'm around. It's our society, and you got to know it's there. If you don't know it's there, you're not winning. Get the right brake.
When I'm out there, my mind goes blank. Then I just get in this mode where it's like another gear for me.
Casey gets in that car, she just wants to rip their throat out. She just wants to kill them. She's got an instinct I don't have there. She is way more into it than I am. We set some goals that were a little lofty, and we had a similar goal last year. We wanted to be #1 all year. We missed one race last year. This year we got it by 7/1000ths of a second.
The Quick 8 season consisted of 7 weekends. Casey was not only the top qualifier every week, but with this run here, locked up the points championship a week before the season was even finished.
It was the first time that I was actually proud of myself. Knowing that I had done it, it was over, I had accomplished something that I've been wanting to accomplish since I was 9. Gave me that extra edge and like that check mark on my list of like, I already won, I'm a champion at our track, and now what's next?
It's hard work to get it. Wasn't as clean as we'd like it, but we got it. And we're going to own it.
With Casey now a Super Pro champion, there was just one last bit of business for Robert to take care of. That business was here. His sights were set on breaking the track record with a run of under 4 seconds, something no driver had ever done at the Highline drag strip.
Watching him race is so much fun for me, and I want to watch him win and break records in that car, and I get to take care of him when he's in the car versus him taking care of me when I'm in the car. I try to do more to help him because he's given me this dragster and chosen not to race and let me do the racing.
The 8th mile track in Malta is a different beast from the quarter-mile tracks Casey and Robert are accustomed to. What it lacks in distance, it more than makes up for in character. It has a certain rhythm, not as smooth, and with a bit more bounce.
Use a tractor tire and drag a tractor tire down the track to put rubber on it to prep it. So you need to take that into account for when you launch the car, that you just don't blow the tires off of it.
The track may be short, but its grooves are narrow, requiring just a bit more focus from the driver.
I was a little nervous, but I knew that they had prepped the track to perfection before he went just for him.
Weather conditions were getting worse by the hour, and it became apparent Robert was only going to get one shot at the record.
It's a very humbling sport, and the first time you get complacent and think you got this thing handled, you lose right away. You can never turn your back on it or let your guard down. I don't want to be arrogant about it, but I know how those guys run and how hard they work at that track. I really knew it was going to go down the track. I knew going up there and doing the burnout, I did a burnout all the way down the track. Backed all the way up. And by then, nothing's in your brain. You're just gonna let go of the button, hold it to the floor, and hope it goes.
There's no way we just ran a 396 in Malta. Knowing that he did it and that the races were going to be canceled for the rest of the day, and we knew it was going to rain on Sunday, it was like a one and done miracle pass that just happened. And normally we don't hug, but I couldn't help it. I was just too excited. It was just too cool.
That girl's proud of me, as I am her, but yeah, she knows the hard work. It's one track I keep her from because I don't want her to run faster than that. I just don't.
And so it goes. A sport where successes and failures are measured and defined in thousandths of a second. It keeps you sharp, on the edge, where you gotta be. And the edge, well, that's the only place this father and daughter wanna be. Brandon Sullivan, MTN News.
And right now, both Casey and Robert are looking for sponsors. Casey's next goal is to compete in a national event and ultimately as a top fuel dragster.